Hello everyone, it's us again, dedicated, passionate team behind the TV channel Days Drama Digest. We're your go-to source for all things dramatic, twisty, and heart-wrenching in the world of daytime soap operas, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic shows of all time, Days of Our Lives. If you've been glued to your screens like we have, you know that Salem is never short on secrets, betrayals, and those jaw-dropping revelations that keep us coming back for more. But today, we're tackling a particularly somber and intriguing question: will there be any funerals and Days of Our Lives in the near future? And not just any funeral, we're talking about a potential send-off that could shake the foundations of one of the show's most notorious families. Why are we making this bold prediction? Well, dear viewers, it's not just idle speculation. We've been poring over the latest episodes, analyzing every cryptic clue, and connecting the dots from the show's rich, convoluted history. Days of Our Lives has always been a masterclass in resurrection plots, fake deaths, and miraculous comebacks, but this time it feels different. There's a sense of finality in the air, a dramatic closure that's been building like a storm over the turbulent seas of Salem. So grab your tissues, settle in with a cup of coffee or something stronger, and let's unpack this together. We're going to explore the events leading up to this potential milestone, delve into the emotional undercurrents, and speculate on what it could mean for the characters we love and love to hate. By the end, you might just find yourself as excited and perhaps a tad mournful as we are. To set the stage, we need to rewind a bit and revisit one of the most chilling discoveries in recent Days of Our Lives history. As loyal viewers will recall, the DeMera brothers, Toe's enigmatic, power-hungry siblings who've been at the center of countless shames, found themselves in a nightmarish predicament, captured and held against their will in the shadowy depths of the DeMera Catacombs. A place steeped in the family's dark legacy, they stumbled upon something truly macabre. Amid the damp stone walls, flickering torchlight, or perhaps the harsh glow of a flashlight in more modern retellings, and the eerie silence broken only by distant echoes, they uncovered a skeleton. Not just any skeleton, mind you, this was no anonymous relic from a bygone era. It was a grim reminder of mortality hidden away in the bowels of the DeMera mansion, a fortress of intrigue and opulence that has seen more drama than most real-life dynasties. Imagine the scene: Chad DeMera, with his brooding intensity and unyielding determination, and his brother EJ, the Soviet ruthless lawyer who's always one step ahead, or so he thinks, trapped in that claustrophobic underground lair, the air thick with dust and the scent of decay, their hearts pounding from the adrenaline of their captivity. As they desperately searched for an escape route, their hands brushed against cold bones, sending shivers down their spines. The discovery wasn't just shocking, it was a visceral punch to the gut, a stark confrontation with the DeMera family's bloody past. Who could this be? A long-lost enemy? A forgotten ally? Or worse, a mean from their own bloodline? The brothers, bound by their shared heritage of manipulation and survival, knew they couldn't let this mystery fester. It was a puzzle that demanded resolution, especially after their harrowing rescue, which itself was a rollercoaster of alliances, betrayals, and last-minute heroics. Once freed from the Catacombs' grip, the DeMera brothers didn't waste a moment. Their minds raced with questions, their conversations laced with suspicion and a rare vulnerability. Chad, ever the protector of the family legacy, might have paced the grand halls of the DeMera estate, his brow furrowed in thought. EJ, with his sharp legal mind and penchant for control, would have demanded answers with that commanding presence that makes him both alluring and intimidating. They turned to the one man in Salem who could unravel this forensic enigma: Rafe Hernandez, the steadfast detective who's navigated more twists in his career than a pretzel factory. Rafe, with his no-nonsense demeanor and commitment to justice, took on the task with the gravity it deserved. He initiated a thorough analysis, sending samples to the FBI labs, Toe's high-tech havens where science meets soap opera drama. The wait for the results was agonizing, a period filled with subplots that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. In Days of Our Lives, time stretches like taffy during these suspenseful arcs, allowing for romantic entanglements, heated confrontations, and side stories that weave into the main tapestry. Perhaps during this interim, we saw flashes of the brothers' inner turmoil, Chad reflecting on his complicated relationship with his father figure Stefano, while EJ grappled with the implications for his own ambitions. The show has always excelled at layering emotional depth onto its mysteries, and this was no exception. Whispers spread through Salem like wildfire, gossip at the Brady pub, hushed conversations in the Horton living room, intense exchanges at the Kyriakis mansion. Everyone wondered, whose bones were those? Could it be DeMera? And if so, which one? The DeMera family tree is a tangled web of adoptions, secrets, and resurrections, making every possibility a potential bombshell. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. Rafe, clutching the FBI report like a sacred scroll, prepared to deliver the news. The analysis was meticulous, involving DNA sequencing, forensic anthropology, and perhaps even some cutting-edge technology that only exists in the realm of daytime TV. The results were unequivocal. The skeleton belonged to a member of the DiMera family. But not just any member, this was someone whose shadow loomed large over the entire saga of Days of Our Lives. And here's the crux of our prediction. There's one DiMera who will never rise from the dead again. In a show infamous for bringing characters back from the brink through amnesia, body doubles, or outright miracles, this declaration carries weight. It signals a shift, a willingness to let go of a legend and move forward with fresh drama. To understand why this is so pivotal, we must delve into the storied history of the DiMera clan. Founded by the patriarch Xana DiMera, the family has been synonymous with villainy, romance, and redemption arcs since the show's inception in 1965. But no figure embodies the DiMera essence more than Stefano DiMera, the Phoenix himself, portrayed masterfully by the late Joseph Mascolo. Stefano was a character larger than life, a Machiavellian mastermind who orchestrated kidnappings, corporate takeovers, and mind control schemes with the flair of a Bond villain. He died multiple times, shot, exploded, drowned, you name it. Each time, fans held their breath, waiting for that triumphant return, that iconic laugh echoing through the episodes. Stefano's resurrections became a hallmark of the show, symbolizing the eternal cycle of drama in Salem. Yet, as the years passed, the narrative evolved. Stefano's final death in 2016, gunned down by Hope Brady, in a moment of poetic justice, felt more conclusive. There were no immediate comebacks, no mysterious sightings. The show honored Mascolo's passing by letting the character rest. But soap operas are nothing if not resilient. Rumors persisted, fan theories abounded, and now, with this skeleton discovery, it seems the writers are circling back to give Stefano the closure he and the audience deserves. The skeleton in the catacombs isn't just bones, it's a metaphor for unresolved grief, buried secrets, and the inexorable march of time. Rafe's role in this revelation cannot be understated. As the former FBI agent turned Salem PD commissioner, he's the bridge between law and the chaotic world of the DiMeras. Picture the scene: Rafe, in his crisp uniform, or perhaps a more casual jacket that hints at his personal stakes. After all, his relationships in Salem are as tangled as anyone else's. Rise at the DiMera mansion. The grand doors creak open, revealing the opulent interior: crystal chandeliers, antique furniture, and portraits of ancestors staring down judgmentally. EJ, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, greets him with a mix of anticipation and dread. The air is thick with tension, the kind that Days of Our Lives builds so expertly through close-up shots and swelling music. Rafe, EJ might say, his voice steady but his eyes betraying a flicker of vulnerability. You have the results. Rafe nods solemnly, unfolding the report. He explains the findings step by step, his words measured to heighten the drama. The DNA matches Stefano DiMera's profile unequivocally. The skeleton in the crypto's mysterious remains that have haunted the brothers since their escape, he's none other than their fathers. The confirmation hits like a thunderclap. EJ's face crumples, a rare crack in his armored facade. Perhaps he staggers back, clutching the mantle for support. As memories flood in, Stefano's stern guidance, his manipulative love, the empire he built through sheer force of will. This moment isn't just about identification. It's a cathartic release for the characters and viewers alike. For EJ, it's a confrontation with his heritage, the good, the bad, and the utterly diabolical. Stefano wasn't just a father, he was a force of nature, shaping EJ into the man he is today. The revelation forces EJ to reflect on his own path, the power struggles with his siblings, the romantic entanglements, Sammy Brady, and all that fiery history, and the quest for dominance in Salem's cutthroat world. Chad, too, would be affected deeply. As the more heroic DiMera, relatively speaking, he's always straddled the line between light and dark. Losing Stefano for good means losing a part of that shadowy allure, but also gaining the freedom to forge a new legacy. The ripple effects extend beyond the brothers. The entire DiMera family, Kristen, Tony, Andre if he's around in this timeline, and even the extended branches will feel the shockwaves. Kristen, with her wild schemes and unbridled passion, might react with histrionics, tears streaming down her face as she rails against fate. Tony, the more refined DiMera, could offer a stoic front, but inside, he's mourning the end of an era. And let's not forget the rivals, the Bradys, Hortons, and Kiriakaises, who've clashed with Stefano for decades. For them, this is vindication, but also a bittersweet acknowledgement that their greatest adversary is truly gone. This confirmation paves the way for what we've all been waiting for, the DiMera family reunion, and a formal farewell ceremony for Stefano. In the world of Days of Our Lives, funerals are never simple affairs. They're spectacles of emotion, complete with eulogies that double as confessions, unexpected guests who drop bombshells, and perhaps even a twist or two to keep things spicy. Imagine the planning stages. The family gathers in the DiMera living room, a space that's seen proposals, betrayals, and everything in between. EJ takes charge, his leadership style a blend of Stefano's iron fist and his own charisma. They debate the details, hold it be a private affair in the Catacombs or a grand event at St. Luke's Church where so many Salem milestones have unfolded. The ceremony itself would be a dramatic masterpiece. Picture the scene, mourners dressed in black, the air heavy with the scent of lilies and incense. The casket perhaps an ornate mahogany piece befitting a king sits at the altar. Draped in the Demera crest, EJ delivers a eulogy, his voice cracking as he recounts Stefano's life from his humble beginnings in Italy to his rise as a global tycoon, interspersed with tales of love, his obsession with Marlena Evans, vengeance against the Bradys, and family loyalty. Chad might share a more personal anecdote, highlighting Stefano's rare moments of tenderness amid the chaos. Kristen could cause a scene, collapsing in grief or accusing someone of foul play, because no Demera event is complete without a dash of melodrama. But why a funeral now in 2026? The show has teased Stefano's finality before, but this skeleton discovery feels like the writer's way of tying up loose ends, while opening new doors. It's a nod to the fans who followed the Demera saga for generations, acknowledging that even immortals like the Phoenix must eventually fade. In a year that's already promised fresh storylines, romantic triangles, corporate intrigue, and perhaps some supernatural elements, this funeral stands out as a landmark event. It's the first of its kind in 2026, a somber kickoff to what could be a year of transitions in Salem. Delving deeper into Stefano's legacy, we can't ignore how he shaped Days of Our Lives into the powerhouse it is today. Introduced in 1982, Stefano quickly became the ultimate antagonist, his Phoenix moniker symbolizing his ability to rise from ashes. Episodes featuring him were ratings gold, blending high-stakes drama with campy fun. Remember the brainwashing of John Black? Or the infamous Ponce storyline? These plots weren't just entertaining, they explored themes of identity, power, and redemption. Stefano's relationships were equally complex, his love for his children was fierce, yet twisted by his need for control. With Kate Roberts, it was a passionate alliance with Marlena, an obsessive pursuit that bordered on the gothic. The decision to confirm his death via this skeleton plot is ingenious. It allows the show to revisit these histories without cheapening past resurrections. Perhaps the catacombs hold more secrets of their skeletons, hidden treasures, or documents that reveal untold Demera scandals. This could launch subplots, EJ discovering a lost will, Chad uncovering a half-sibling, or Kristen plotting to claim the Empire. The funeral becomes a catalyst, reuniting the family not just in grief, but in renewed conflict. Siblings who were at odds might bond over shared memories, only to fracture again over inheritance disputes. Emotionally, this arc promises depth. Grief in Days of Our Lives is multifaceted. It's not just tears, but anger, denial, and growth. For EJ, burying Stefano means burying parts of himself, the ruthless ambition that led to misdeeds like his schemes against Sammy or his battles with Nicole. He might seek solace in family, perhaps rekindling ties with his children or pursuing a new romance. Chad, married to Abigail or whoever his current flame is, could use this as a turning point to embrace heroism fully, distancing himself from the Demera darkness. The women of the family strong, resilient figures like Kristen or even Vivian Alamein, if she pops up, will add layers of intrigue. Their mourning laced with scheming. From a production standpoint, this funeral could be a visual feast. Days of Our Lives, now streaming on Peacock after its NBC run, has upped its game with cinematic flair. Expect sweeping camera angles, poignant flashbacks, Mascolo's scenes repurposed tastefully, and a soundtrack that tugs at heartstrings. Guest stars might return former Demeras or Fausto pay respects, sparking reunions and rivalries. Imagine Bo Brady showing up, his presence a reminder of old grudges, or Hope reflecting on her role in Stefano's demise. This event's timing in 2026 feels poetic. The show, celebrating over 60 years, is in a renaissance phase, blending nostalgia with modern storytelling. Post-pandemic, soaps have leaned into emotional authenticity, and a funeral fits perfectly. It's a chance to honor Joseph Mascolo's legacy, perhaps with a meted tribute. Fans have clamored for closure, and this delivers it dramatically. But what about the never rise from the dead aspect? In soap logic, death is rarely permanent, but the original prediction emphasizes finality. Maybe the writers are signaling a new era where resurrections are rarer, stakes higher. Or perhaps it's a red herring, Stefano's essence lives on through a clone, AI, or air. Yet, the skeleton's confirmation suggests true permanence, a bold move that heightens drama. As we speculate, let's consider viewer impact. Days of Our Lives thrives on community fan forums buzzing, social media debates raging. This funeral could trend worldwide with hashtags like Stefano Farewell or Demera Legacy. It might inspire marathons of classic episodes, introducing new viewers to the show's depth. In expanding this prediction, we've explored the discovery's terror, revelation's weight, and ceremony's potential grandeur. The Demerit brothers' journey from captivity to closure mirrors the show's enduring appeal, resilience amid chaos. Stefano's upcoming funeral will be the first event of its kind in 2026, a dramatic harbinger of what's to come. It promises tears, twists, and that signature Salem magic. Are you looking forward to this story? We certainly reads the kind of plot that reminds us why we love Days of Our Lives. Share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned to Days Drama Digest for more insights. Until next time, keep the drama alive.